After saving the world from Eggman's interstellar amusement park, we've been tasked by the President of the United States, Curious George, to find out what Rouge is up to. No particular reason was given as to why he wanted to know, but being Curious George, it seems he was just being curious. Thus we embark on our mission to find Rouge. Unfortunately, along the way, Sonic stubs his left pinky toe, making him unable to jump. Thus, the question, can you beat Sonic Generations without jumping? No. We fail pretty miserably at this actually, especially classic Sonic, which he makes us want to take a knuckle sandwich right into our unprotected asshole. But without wasting any more time, let's unironically jump right into it.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
Starting out with Green Hill Act 1, it's a very simple beginning segment as we spin dash across a straight line. Unfortunately, the level finishes as quickly as me on a Friday night in Malibu, forcing us to jump in order to clear the step. Off to a fantastic start. Let's see what Tails has to say to aid us on our journey.
See me after class.
Fortunately, Act 2 fares a little bit better for us. Once you reach this section, make sure you air boost over the gap, otherwise you would be soft-locked as jumping would be required to escape. Following this, there are some steps that it looks like you need to jump over. Luckily, there's no need for such crimes to be committed, as if you look closely, there are these red steps in front of the rocks, meaning although Sonic has to break his ankles multiple times, we're able to clear the distance needed. After committing some robot genocide, we make it to the 2D section. We are forced to drop down, and someone want to tell me what just happened there? We drop down to the bottom and homing attack some enemies to get to the other side before we get to this section. Make sure you have enough boost to get through it, otherwise you'd be forced to jump over the steps. Once we make it inside the cave, all we have to do is keep moving forward. I'm not counting rail switching as jumping because it's a separate button from the jump button, so it doesn't count. Making it past that, this fish wants to give us a kiss, but luckily we style on it, making it fall to its death. This next section is super easy.
Barely an inconvenience.
Just keep holding boost and occasionally stomp or homing attack once you get to the designated area. The same goes for this section. Just take damage and you'll be sent to the correct rail via the orange hoop. For the upcoming part, it can be a little bit tricky. Make sure after you use the pulley, you move far enough left that when you homing attack, you'll be sent to the left rather than the right. After slamming this robot harder than this challenge is slamming my cheeks, we take the shortcut and smash the bridge. Once you do that, it's a straight line to the end of the level, and that is it for this level. Spoiler alert, this is the only level that is possible. It only gets worse from here. I'm gonna be honest, there isn't much to talk about with this level, it's mostly spamming the spin dash for most of it. However, I was surprised to learn you can spin dash this breakable object instead of jumping on it, and it'll still work. The more you know.
And knowing is half the battle!
Once you get past this section, you're gonna have to double back because you can't jump past the step, you silly goose. After dropping down to the bottom, we spin dash some more for a while before, unfortunately, just like Sonic's ankles now being disabled, so is my will to live as we encounter another set of stairs waiting for us, thus concluding the level. Again, there isn't that much to talk about with this level either. You mostly boost in a straight line here, do a few drifts here, and you're forced to drop down to the lower level here. Before you reach the 2D section, just keep boosting before you eventually reach a box that you push aside. Sadly though, you cannot jump over the box, therefore this level is not possible. I'm starting to wonder why President Curious George sent us on this mission. Is Rouge really so important that she's worth all this mental torture? What secrets was she hiding in those voluptuous pepperonis? It was unclear to me at the moment, but we have to keep trudging forward despite failing this challenge multiple times over. Starting out the level, we do a spin dash and immediately lose. Well then, that was complete dog shit. Let's hope Act 2 fares any better. Starting out in Speed Highway Act 1, the name of the game is once again spamming the spin dash and praying to Jesus that there are no stairs in need of climbing. Unfortunately, I failed to realize that you can just spin dash right through these barrels, which makes Sonic have an existential crisis, leading him to kill himself. The next attempt I make it past, and sadly this is where the level ends. It's impossible to make it past these moving platforms. Even if by some grace of God you're able to make it to the higher level, you need to jump to progress. Thus, this ends the level. Immediately starting out the next level, Sonic's toe is feeling better, allowing him to jump. However, since this was not allowed, I had to tie Sonic to a chair and smash his toe with a sledgehammer to once again disable him. On the next attempt, we run in a straight line for a bit, as well as some quick stepping and drifting before coming to the 2D section. I also love that every time he smashed through a window, Sonic looked back to see if anyone saw him. He's like, guys, I swear it wasn't me. Unfortunately, we are once again bent over and fucked in the ass by our mortal enemy, the stair, leaving us unable to reach the lightspeed rings, thus ending the level. Starting out in City Escape, yeah, this is how most classic stages go, if I'm being honest. The beginning section of this level is extremely easy, as we're never required to jump. All you have to do is boost and occasionally drift. Once you get to the next portion of the stage after dismounting the board, immediately attack the enemies to take the orange hoops. Otherwise, if you're on the bottom route, you'll need to walk off the edge once the enemy spawns in, homing attack it, and then get on the spring. After committing some more robot genocide, their friends ask us to spare a crispy McChicken, so we immediately run off the edge and kill ourselves. On the next attempt, we successfully make it past and approach the 2D section. This part can be interpreted interpret it in a few ways with this pull. Regardless, you have to hit the jump button in order to escape it. However, I choose to instead fail it, which I thought was a decent compromise for the sake of the level. But if you think I should be soft-locked there and end the level, let me know down in the comments. Unfortunately, this is where the level ends, as you need to jump to successfully murder this innocent enemy. Thus, this is where the level ends. Starting out in the next, don't even need to continue this sentence. Moving on. This level, on the other hand, maybe want to exercise my Second Amendment rights. There are a few ways you can go with this level. You can go left, middle, or the right. There's only one way to go, however, as you are locked into the 2D section if you go the other routes. Once you take the left side, make sure you wait for the platform to move before boosting across. This next part is where all hell breaks loose. Time after time, my cheeks got the double-decker smackdown as Sonic falls off the ledge over and over again. Sometimes he'd fall off normally and the reticle won't appear, other times he just clip through the floor. I was at this part for over an hour, and only once, by some miracle after I turned off my recording, did I manage to fall off the ledge and the homing reticle appear, leading me to attack the robot. However, it still sends you to the 2D section after taking that spring, so I guess I was screwed regardless. At this point, this mission was really starting to weigh down on me. President Curious George chose me for this mission, but my weak-ass toe was hindering me from achieving me goals. There was no way I was going to give up and let Rouge suffer because of my incompetence. Even though only one level had been possible, we can still make it to the end. With my spirit rejuvenated, never mind, I don't even try anymore. Hopefully Act 2 lets us progress a little bit further. Nope. Starting out in Rooftop Run Act 1, we do a spin dash which allows... This video is going to be shorter than I thought, isn't it? Jumping into Act 2, I get a little too excited at playing my favorite stage and jump, shattering every bone in Sonic's fragile foot. After resetting, we take the bottom route and are once again greeted by our favorite thing in the world, a curb. Remember how in the beginning I said we failed miserably? Oh boy, more classic Sonic. Let's see what... Yep, that's what I expected. Yep. Just a big old frothy mug of hot chocolate shit shake. Starting on in Act 2, we're greeted by some enemies on the steps. Luckily, you can avoid them all by going to the left and taking this spring. Once you kill the enemy, this is, of course, where the level ends, as you don't have enough distance to clear the gap by simply boosting off the stage. This brings us to our conclusion. We have failed President Curious George and have not located Rouge. I don't know what kind of punishment we will receive when returning home, but that is a story for another time. Thank you all for watching and subscribe for more.